Hello, everyone, and welcome to Battle of the Beasts, Transformation Takedown. I'm Adam, and this will make sense later. So, on the day I'll explain this now. On the day that this video is going to be uploaded, it's going to be the 29th of January 2025, which is Chinese New Year. And I thought it would be only appropriate for me to mention that because we're going to be going from the year of the dragon to the year of the snake, which is the year which I was born. So therefore my animal is a snake, and I have a giant stuffed snake. So I thought it would be a good idea to show my appreciation for this animal. And yeah, hope we'll get another kind of snake up here as well. We can see bits of different colours here. But yeah, that is why the snake's around me. It'll be gone later. I'll put him somewhere. But yeah. I don't have a name for the snake. I've had this snake for 2 odd years and I still haven't named him. But anyway, let's get to Battle of the Beasts. This is obviously battle number 9 of the round 1 of Transformation Takedown. And introducing the beasts, we have a representative of Series 26, the 4 Masters, a beast which has made it relatively far in the new generation tournament, and I believe died rather early. I don't know. Died in round 3 in the All Generation tournament to the runner-up Strider of all beasts. We have Kyron, Lord of Fire, versus his opponent, a representative of the specials, and in both tournaments died relatively early, but is still shown to be a rather formidable opponent. It's Okawa, the River Beast. So with Kyron and Okawa here, this seems to be an alright matchup. It's kind of on and off, like, okay. You got the water type advantage here, but you also got the reputation that this one has compared to this one in Battle of the Beast. So let's get to the stats so you can really see what we're talking about here. Okay, Kyron, Lord of Fire. Kyron does not have a bio to talk about, so we can't do that. Does not have any stats, so we won't talk about that either. Powers and abilities, though, he has Flight, Enhanced Strength, Weapon Mastery, Speech, and Magic. I will also add Heat and Lava Resistance and Healing, which is on Kyron's true form, but as I'm using just this form of Kyron, I'll add those abilities as well, as I have done in previous tournaments. Equipment is a sword of Angus, I guess, which is permanently on fire, meaning that anything it slashes ablaze and fire streams of magma from its blade. He does also have the ability to, as he's Lord of Fire, I gave him the ability to literally have any access to any kind of fire conjuring spell / anything there is, which links to the magic ability. Weaknesses is God, I can't read. Bifurcation. If the fusion splits in half from where the two beams meet, they are separated. Zargon turn into dust and Kyron turn into the good form. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, moving on. Okawa the River Beast. This mysterious monster was created by magic which infected a normal person, slowly transforming them into a beast. Okawa is stronger than several men. His flesh is slimy sinew, and his back is protected by a hardened shell of green scales. Worst of all, his poison touch is enough to make you lose your mind, turning his victims into mindless slaves. Okawa has only one weakness. If the hollow in the top of the skull goes dry, he loses his power, so keep him away from water and you might stand a chance. Age 52, power 295, magic level 193, fright factor 97, size 110. Powers and abilities: enhanced strength, infection, underwater breathing, natural armor, speech. Minions, the infected. And weaknesses is antidote. There is an antidote to the River Turn Poison, which if Okawa is doused in it, he will revert back to who he was. Empty dish weakening. If the dish on Okawa's head starts to run out of water, he becomes weaker. Infection reversion. Those infected by Okawa will revert to normal upon the beast's defeat. And with that, let's cut back to me. Okay, so we're now back from the stats department. My lovely snake has moved over there. I can't tell if it's derpy or cute or kind of terrifying being there. But He's satisfied there. He'll be fine. This will be a one video thing though, because Chinese New Year. I might have that up for I might have that for the up for the most of the year actually. I don't know. I'll see what you guys think about it, and when I record a video after Chinese New Year, it may come back, it may not. But I think he's okay there. Seems happy. Yeah. So anyway, stats is done. Kyron versus Okawa. The battlefield is going to be a swampy arena actually, and I've gone with that because I've gone with an environment which is more suited for Okawa, because Battle of the Beast reputation wise, Okawa's lacking. However, Kyron has quite a good reputation, and I think it'll be a good idea to put him in the arena he's not comfortable in, but could still kind of stand a chance. Because swamps are, yes, wet and marshy, however, not as wet as an ocean, the clock arena, or a beach arena. So I do think a swampy arena is on the level playing field where it's not instantly making Okawa lose. So that Kyron versus Okawa. Let's get into this. As the chamber doors open, Okawa dives into the swampy waters and hides underneath the surface as he makes his way to the centre of the arena. As Kyron flies out of the sky exit, lands on the podium in front with the Zargon arms crossed, and just looks at the arena below him. Kyron is unsatisfied with the way the arena looks, and using the Sword of Angus, slashes it forward towards the arena in a fiery arc, which sends the arc flying into the arena, setting all the grass and trees around there ablaze, instantly incinerating it to a very level playing field with tons of water. Kyron then makes its way down to a dry bit of land as Okawa emerges from the watery depths. As they stare each other down, Kyron wastes no time by conjuring a fireball and chucking it straight towards Okawa. Okawa turns around, lets his shell just take the hit, barely affects Okawa, and Okawa dives under the water and is making his way straight towards Kyron, where he comes out of the water, surprises Kyron, and pulls him into the water. Kyron chucks the sword aside onto the ground before being submerged, and using his fists, he's punching at Okawa as Okawa is scratching at him, trying to infect Kyron, but it doesn't seem to be working at that point at the moment. What's happening? As Okawa is scratching, biting, Kyron is punching, trying to break the neck, but doesn't seem to be working. Okawa's strength seems to be very powerful at the moment. At this point, Kyron uses his front two hooves and pushes Okawa away, giving Kyron enough time to get to the surface, where he instantly grabs the sword and takes up to the sky, getting out of reach of Okawa, as Okawa just looks at Kyron from the watery depths before submerging again. Kyron tries to think of what he can do, and then he gets the idea. He goes back onto his perch, and lifting up his two front hooves, he slams them down onto the perch, causing the whole stadium to shake, but also creating cracks to go all the way down the side of the arena, and lava flowing out of it. No one knows where the lava came from. The spectators are in shock by this, but realise this is the Lord of Fire, so that makes sense. As lava is flowing out of the cracks and is burning the perimeter of the arena, Okawa notices this and feels that the water is starting to get hotter. Okawa, not knowing exactly what to do, stays exactly where he is, waiting for Kyron to lose his focus and come closer for him to fall into another trap. Kyron, not wasting any time though, starts sending tons of fiery arcs towards the water, causing instant collisions with the water and the fire, where steam erupts. Okawa was confused by this, but knows what Kyron's trying to do. Kyron's trying to evaporate the water. Okawa, not having any of this, dives to the bottom of the swampy waters, grabs a rock, comes back up to the surface, and chucks the rock at Kyron, which hits Kyron directly in the head. Kyron, angered by this, charges down towards Okawa, leaving the sword on the perch, and tackles Okawa, grabbing him by the head and using his hooves to push him down into the water, and then use his wings to carry Okawa out of the river, out of the water. Sorry. Okawa, realizing that he's now out of the water, is trying to break free from Kyron, trying to get back into the water, but Kyron's just carrying Okawa up higher and higher and higher. Kyron then drops Okawa to fall down to the water. Okawa just smiles, knowing that he's going to have a safe landing. But Kyron uses his hands together to form a giant fireball and chucks it straight at the floor of the arena right below Okawa, where it hits the water and more steam's erupting. At this point, though, Okawa falls into the steam and instantly starts screeching in pain because of how hot this steam is. And Kyron heard that, and suddenly an idea burst into his head. He dives back down as soon as Okawa lands in the water, pulls him out of the water again, and sticks him on the dry land, pinning him down. As Okawa's trying to push himself back up, Kyron lifts up one of his hooves and smashes it into Okawa's head, knocking him out for a bit, winding him. And then Kyron leaves the body of Okawa as he conjures up a bigger fireball, chucks it to the ground of the arena, conjures up another one, chucks it to the ground of the arena, another, boom, 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 boom. Repeatedly conjures giant fireballs, chucks it to the arena. More steam is emerging from the arena. These spectators are taking a step back to not get caught in the steam. As Okawa regains consciousness, the first thing Okawa feels is pain from the steam just burning away at his flesh. He's screeching in pain, feeling all the steam bubbling up in his flesh. His shell, his whole body is starting to stiffen from going weaker and weaker because of the lack of water. The water in his cup on his head is evaporating as well, all turning to steam. Okawa is just shaking, writhing in pain from the steam burns. And Kyron then used that to his opportunity. He runs around the perimeter of the arena on the ledge, grabs his sword, jumps down from the arena, lifting up his sword, and buries it right in Okawa's head, with the sword going right through the head, coming out through the jaw. Okawa's body suddenly stops writhing and collapses to the ground. Kyron retrieves his sword and, using his front two hooves, brings it up and smashes it down on Okawa's shell, shattering it and Okawa's spine and ribs. Kyron then lifts up one hoof, slams it into the ground, and the lava suddenly retreats from the perimeter, and what's left of the water stays bubbling at the bottom, as Kyron makes his way back to his chamber, satisfied with the victory. So that Kyron's won, Okawa's lost. If you think Okawa should won, please in the comments below. I think about how my words fell on Kyron's moving on to the next round. Right. Okay, I gave Kyron the victory here because, well, yeah, water does beat fire. But depending on how much fire there is, it can evaporate the water. Kyron is not the hottest fire-related beast that there is. With being the Lord of Fire, you would expect that he does have counters for water. And being a very evil beast, might I add, wants to, make Okawa feel excruciating pain throughout trying to kill him. And I don't know if any of you guys actually burnt yourself by steam before, but I'll let you know right now because I've done it multiple times. It hurts. It really does, and the pain lasts a while. So I think having Okawa get steam burnt is excruciating, a bit painful to describe, but will be a fitting, slow, and agonizing death that Kyron will inflict. Whilst water could beat fire, ultimately Okawa doesn't have any water-based abilities that he can use as an attack, and his main form of attack is his claws. And the infection doesn't work on other beasts, so that kind of done Okawa in from the very beginning. And with that, I gave Kyron the victory. So with that, that's all for this time. If you like what you saw, leave a like, leave a comment, don't forget to subscribe. Have a happy new Chinese New Year, Year of the Snake, and I'll see you next time.